What's up, fam? Welcome back to Portal Plays, and today I'll go ahead and give my brief review on the Dualsense Edge controller. So if you're not familiar with it, the Dualsense Edge released back in January of 2023, and I would say this is a pretty decent controller. Now for the price, it is missing a few capabilities, but I'll go ahead and give you the average breakdown of what this controller does. So you have your trigger stops, you have 3 different levels where you can adjust it. You have light, medium, heavy. It also comes with back buttons. Now these back buttons, you have the option for the dome shaped ones, or do you have the option for the paddle ones? I know a lot of people like the paddle ones because that's what's normally on like a scuff controller. You have the different levels. So you have a medium, you have a small, and you have a large when it comes down to the actual caps itself. So all these caps that you see right here in the front are interchangeable. You just literally just pull it out and then it's good to go. Now the sticks itself are actually modular sticks. It has a release button right here on the back. You just push that to the side and then you'll be able to pull the sticks out and swap them out. But that's one of the major problems when it comes down to the actual modular sticks itself. Sony, what happened, man? Ever since release, these have never been restocked on your website. It's almost like it's a scam because I paid $200 for this controller and I can't even buy the main part that I need. You will find some of these online that scalpers have, and trust me, they're 2x and 3x in the price, and I wouldn't pay for that if I were you. I actually have a video on my channel describing and showing you how to fix the actual stick drift on the controller. And also, when it comes down to the analog sticks, it does have a setting in here where you can change the sensitivity if you have any type of dead zones, or if you want your shot to be a little bit more precise and fine-tuning. So let's get into the things I dislike about this controller. When it comes down to the grips, I feel as though Sony could have used a better type of grip or have something that wrapped fully around the whole controller on this side, because this right here has no type of texture at all. It's super smooth, and this started peeling within like the first 6 months or so. Now, take for granted, I am more of a casual gamer or / heavy gamer on days I have the time. So it could just be my usage on it. I use this as my daily gaming controller. So other than that, in the box, it did come with a 4-foot wire that normally sits right here at the top. And it also comes with a controller cable lock. So this is for, just giving you that extra security so you won't damage your port right here. It'll just lock it in place. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But, it's a good little piece just to add on to the box. Now, when it comes down to like the actual controller settings, you can create a lot of custom profiles. I don't believe it's a cap on the custom profiles, but you have a lot of profiles that you can customize. You have different presets when it comes down to the sensitivity of the analogs. You have dead zone options. You have pretty much everything. Now let's get into the things I dislike about the controller. I had this controller roughly now, like I said, about a year and a couple months, and I caught stick drift within the first year. So it was like a year down the line when the stick drift happened. Like I said, the analog modules are very hard to find, so I just wound up fixing it myself and just saved me a few bucks. The grips are very cheap grips. I feel as though Sony, you can improve on this if you actually make a value 2 of this controller. The back buttons, why couldn't we have 4 back buttons and why we only have 2? I feel as though we should have made that upgrade from the Dualsense 4. Now, if you guys remember, on the Dualsense 4, it actually had like a back button attachment where you were allowed to have 2 back buttons. I feel as though since we moved on to the 5, we should have the option for 4 of them instead of 2. And that would be like my biggest downfalls of the Dualsense Edge 5. Like I said, I love this controller. It could have had like those standard options of more back buttons. The stick modules actually in stock. They haven't been in stock since the release date. Now, should you buy this? Now, for the price tag of $200, I wouldn't recommend you to buy this, only because it is capable of getting stick drift, and that's not something you want for a controller that's $200, You want your controller to last. I would spend like the extra $50 on getting like a scuff controller, because They prevented stick drift, and it also comes with 4 back buttons, and it's pretty much the same exact feel of the DualSense Edge controller itself. And it tends to last a little bit longer, so you have the extra few bucks to go ahead and buy yourself a scuff controller, which I think they max out around like $230 or $250. And I'm not sure if that's with tax or without tax, but I would just spend extra money on that. I will skip on this until PlayStation goes ahead and release like a version 2 of this. And lastly, one thing I do hate about all the modern controllers is, why does my controller need an update? I feel as though that you guys are eventually going to sabotage my controller because you see that I've been playing with it for too long. And I just don't like that about controllers. Controllers shouldn't need updates. It's a tool that we use to play the game. It's no reason why I have to plug my controller in and get an update. But if you have a DualSense Edge controller, or if you're interested in buying one, leave a comment down below. Tell me your thoughts about owning one, and tell me your thoughts of any questions you might have before purchasing one. Like I said, man, I make these short videos just to get it out there, just to inform you on the item that you may have or the item that you're planning on buying. Leave me a like so we can push this video out to the algorithm. Drop me a comment and subscribe if